should be talking about, how do we build on the session that we had? What about curbing gun violence? What about health care? What about, building on education and making higher education more affordable and all of that? Just a number of issues. And you're thinking about, allegedly stabbing, fellow members in the back. So, that seeps into that. But it also has another practical purpose. It prevents the speaker. It could prevent the speaker in a way. So if you're a candidate, a Republican candidate, do you want the speaker's money now?
That's a fair question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Right. So his ability, like speakers in the past, to help Republican candidates could be hampered if they don't want to be bothered with him and they see him as a liability.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all turns out.
We can go on for hours on this, Shawn.
I'm going to bring our first two topics together, right? Because in Mayor Eric Johnson's former House seat, you have 5 people who are running to replace him in District 100. And so, and one of those I've known for a long time, Paul Stafford, but we've got 5 people in that race. How do you see that race shaping out? Again, because you got to run to complete this term, and then you'll be turning basically right back around and running again.
Yeah, and 2 things to look for. 1, 5 people, does that mean runoff? Right?
Right.
And if there is a runoff, December, wow.
A Christmas runoff?
That's a low turnout deal. So what it means is the candidate that can get the support and support that translates into the knock and drag.
Right.
Knock and drag, dragging voters to the polls. And maybe a Christmas time election, basically, that candidate will have an advantage. And we'll see. You got a pretty good field, right? And so we'll see how it works. Jasmine Crockett is waiting for March to run against essentially the winner of this. So,
and I guess we didn't say all 5 are running as Democrats.
No Republicans, all Democrats are running, and so it'll be interesting. To see if the mayor gets involved in his old district, right, if he endorses in that race. But the challenge for the candidates won't get a lot of publicity, right? It's a special election for District 100. They're going to have to struggle to get their messages out. One of the things Eric Johnson was good at was working social media, right?
Right, absolutely.
And they're going to have to do that and figure out a way to build a coalition that works and works fast. And the candidate that does that will win either in November or December, and then have a leg up going into the March primary where there'll be many more voters. There's going to be a lot of voters in that primary because it's a presidential primary.
Gromer, we don't want to keep you, but I do want to pivot to national politics. I know you just came from a Democratic debate up in Frisco. Give us your 2-minute spiel on what's going on nationally. We got a lot of Republicans retiring from Congress.
Right. I came from a Democratic Senate debate. These are folks trying to run against John Cornyn, the winner. There were several of them, with the exception of M.J. Hager. She wasn't there.
One of the big ones.
But Royce West, Chris Bell, Christina Ramirez, Amanda Edwards, they all were there. It was a good discussion. But this is a big year, and it's a big year. Next year is a big year for Texas.
Huge
year for Texas. Everybody is taking it seriously. It starts at the top with the presidential election. Trump won in 2016 by 9 percentage points. What happens now? Not double digits. What happens now? Beto O'Rourke lost by 2.6 percentage points. Just imagine, in 2014, Greg Abbott beat Wendy Davis. You remember that. 20 percentage points.
I remember it well.
Now it's gone all the way. You can see the trend.
Yes.
Is that trend real? Is 2020 the year? That's what we'll see. But it all depends on which candidate the Dems nominate at the top of the ticket. Is it Biden or someone else? It starts there, and then we'll see. Cornyn, is that going to be the race that Cruz or O'Rourke was? Probably not. I think it all is going to involve the presidential race. Two things to watch. The presidential race and how that affects the down-ballot races and the battle for the House.
Yeah,
and absolutely. I know I just read from you. I mean, the Trump campaign is taking Texas very seriously.
Yes.
I mean, they're not leaving anything to chance here.
Right, and because if the Republicans lose Texas, there's no path to the White House, and it's a chain reaction also. And at some point, it will be interesting to see how much resources national Republicans put in the state and national Democrats. Do national Democrats believe, right, that Texas is really in play?
That the groundwork's been laid
right.
by Beto last
Right.
cycle.
Will they put their money because they're talking a big game, right?
Yeah.
But will the donors really back that up with money? The Texas House candidates need about $8 to $12 million combined, right, to really mount a campaign that will have a chance of knocking off Republicans and taking control of the House. They got the low-hanging fruit last year. But this is, they're trying to, in Tarrant County.
Straight ticket voting goes away?
Straight ticket voting goes away. So it's some real drama. Yeah. And it all depends on the investment in Texas. But again, is Trump for real? Or is he a millstone around the neck of the party, an albatross? Or does he still have, some appeal, especially outside of the urban areas? And the economy, that's another good question.
Gromer has this, it's kind of like somewhere between Days of Our Lives and Young and the Restless. I mean, he has the drama. Like, I really want to know what's going to happen in November, December,
exactly.
which means we got to bring him back in March.
Next episode.
Sure. Yeah, we got to bring him back
man.
to see what's going on, because the crystal ball is really working. So I like that.
But what I like is that Texas. Texas is on the map nationally.
I always assumed it would be 2024. That was always.
Yeah, I thought it would be later down the line
that we would get this kind of excitement.
Exactly.
And so it really is, because 2000, 2016, 14, even like you said, it's kind of like, we really know how this is going to end.
Right, exactly.
But now there have been some races where you literally don't know how they're going to end.
Yeah, and that's always fun, and it makes what we all do fun as well. I mean, because
sometimes we don't want a whole lot of fun.
Exactly. I know you don't want drama.
We don't want a lot of drama.
You want to win 10-0, right? Every time out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Gromer, thank you for coming by. Anything else you want to?
Oh yeah, we need to know how people can follow you.
How can we find you?
Oh yeah, man. Just on Twitter at Gromer Jeffers. Just hit me up there. You'll find me there. And go to DallasNews.com and check me out. We got a new website.
Looks good, man.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Local journalism matters, and so that's what we're trying to get that message
Your colleague
across.
Maria Halkias always beats on me, and I say, Maria, I'm a subscriber.
Well, that's good, and we appreciate that. that.
Well, Gromer, we are going to have you back in March, man, for sure, and we appreciate this time. It's been fun.
Hey, man, it's good to see you guys doing your thing. Again, we all go back a long way, so
absolutely.
I'm excited to be here and support you all.
Well, we appreciate it too, man. We'll have to go to our second studio location at Jalisco.
Oh,
yeah, so, that'd be great, man. I love it.
That's our office.
Okay.
Office. Yeah.
All right.
So this is Deconstructing Dallas. Shawn Williams will be and Ryan Trimmer will be back right after this.
Deconstructing Dallas, he, Shawn Williams, me, Ryan Trimble. Shawn, always love talking to that guy. Gromer Jeffers from the Dallas Morning News, big thanks to him.
Yeah, dropping a lot of knowledge and with a lot of energy. That was just a lot of fun, man. And it's right in our wheelhouse. Like, I think when we started the podcast, that's a lot of what we had in mind for this podcast was politics. Now, our listeners have told us they don't want to just hear politics, which is great. We do a lot of things and have a lot of clients that we work with. And so we are fortunate to be able to bring a lot of varied interest to the topic. But for us, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. So thank you again to Gromer Jeffers. Wanted to thank John Spriggans from the South Dallas Cultural Center. I'd be remiss if we didn't say thank you.
Yeah, the great director of this place who literally came out of a meeting to unlock the door so we could get in here. Yeah. So we do want to give a shout out to John.
We do love recording down here at the South Dallas Cultural Center studios when we're away from the Allen Media Worldwide headquarters studios. So thanks again, John. Last but not least, let me not forget to say a big happy birthday to one of our most loyal listeners. She is Dominique Torres. Thank you, Dominique.
Absolutely. A servant leader for Dallas. That's what I like to say. One of our DART board trustees. Yes. And has been asking when is the podcast coming back on Twitter. So the podcast is back. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you have an amazing birthday. Well, this has been Deconstructing Dallas. You've been listening to Shawn Williams and Ryan Trimble. We want to thank Mary Woodleaf. We want to thank Jennifer Pascal. We want to thank Gromer Jeffers for taking his time out to come and share with us today. And like Ryan said, we want to thank John Spriggans. Most of all, we want to thank everyone who is listening to this podcast. And we would like to ask you, if you could be so kind as to go to your podcast platform of choice, if it is iTunes, if it is Spotify, give us a review. Let everyone know how you feel about it. On Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. We would really, really appreciate that. And tell your friends. And don't forget, we are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. So, check us out on social media also. So for Ryan Trimble, this is Shawn Williams. We will be back very soon. Adios.